Yeah. First of all, who I am. So my name is Adrien, and I'm the AcyMailing project manager. I've been developing AcyMailing since the beginning, since about 6 years now. And part of my job is obviously to take care of you, take care of my customers. And I've been answering plenty of questions all the time. And so I try to just pick up 10 questions and share a bit of my experience with you. I'm French, and I apologize for all my mistakes, and I just hope you understand me. Yeah? Okay, I just organized a little bit the question, and when you start with an email marketing campaign, the first thing you will have to do is actually to build your list of contacts. And it can be very slow to build your list of contacts. So first question is, how can I extend my list of contacts and speed it up a little bit? May I present to you Thomas? This is one of the developers of AcyMailing as well. Hi, Thomas. So obviously, you're gonna publish a subscription form on your website, like please enter your name and your email and to receive our newsletter. But the goal is that each time the customer will enter his email address on your website, you have to add something so he can be subscribed to your newsletter. Like integrating with your contact form. If you have a contact form on your website, the guy is going to contact you, he's going to put his email address. It's very important to remember to keep this email address so you can contact him back. Even if actually you don't have a policy to manage a mailing list and you don't send newsletter, it's actually very important to start from now on and to try to gather as much email as you can. So you can do that on your contact form, on your registration form, on your checkout process if you have an e-commerce solution, on your Facebook page as well. You use an external subscription form. One of the most powerful weapons you can have to gather more subscribers is actually to use a squeeze page pop-up. So what's a squeeze page pop-up? It's when you go inside a website and after, let's say, 10 seconds, you have a pop-up which come up and say, hey, maybe you will be interested in checking out newsletter. Please enter your email address and your name. Okay. As a user, I find it extremely painful. I hate that. But I have to say it's very efficient, and you're gonna multiply by 2, by 3, by 4 the number of subscribers you may have. So, hey Barak, he just bought a list of 2 million contacts. Can I import them in AcyMailing? And the answer is yes, you can. But thank you. But it's actually not a good idea. Most of people think that the more you send emails, the more you will get results about it, like open rate, click, and so the more you get visitors on your website. It's actually not true, because if you buy a list of 2 million contacts, you will have plenty of wrong email address inside, and you will start to deliver your emails, and Gmail, for example, will say, hey, come on, it's been 10 emails you're sending me, and half of them is wrong, or half of people click on, this is a spam, and so Gmail will immediately consider you as a spam, and people who may be interested in newsletter will just don't receive it. It will be in the spam folder directly. So now it's time to write your newsletter. And may I present you Elliot, which is actually a developer as well. Should I include a non-subscribe link in my newsletter? So what do you think about this one? Should we include or not? Obviously, yes. So why don't you do it? Actually, many of our clients don't do it. I don't know if they just forget it or is it anyway. So it's interesting to know why you should do it, and there are 2 reasons for that. The first one is for your users, because you want to respect them. They opt in. They should be able to opt out. The second reason is you should do it for you. First, to avoid users marking you as spam. If I cannot unsubscribe from your newsletter, I will say, okay, this is a spam. And second time, you will send me again your email because I could not unsubscribe, and I will again, hey, this is a spam. And more users do that, next time you will directly land up in the spam folder. And the second reason why you do that for you is actually to get feedback about your users. It's very interesting. It's usually rude to read the reason why people unsubscribe. It's easy to add a quick survey when people unsubscribe, and you can get a lot of feedback about this. Why did you lose this customer? What did you expect? Can I create responsive emails? Yes, because this event is about responsive, so I had to put this question. And this is Charlotte, our web designer, and she will actually answer much better than I will do. But the answer is obviously sure. And you should really, at least you should make sure your emails render fine on mobile device. Nicolas said that there are still more computers than mobile device. It's actually the opposite on email. More people are reading their emails on their mobile device than on their laptops. So you should really make sure it renders okay. And if you're a web designer, you know that it's very painful to make sure your design is going to work on Internet Explorer 7 and 8 and 9 and Mozilla, and it's just very easy compared to Gmail, Outlook, and Android and everything like that. So keep in mind it won't always work. You will not always have the exact same result on all my clients, but you should just make sure it's okay. What newsletter should I send? Another developer. We used to send newsletter one time to all people, and this is the old way of doing it. More and more, you have to focus on sending the information the customer needs when he needs it. And one of the powerful ways to do that is actually to segment your list. For example, we are here at JoomlaDay Australia, and we sent a quick newsletter to our client saying, hey, we are the JoomlaDay Australia, maybe you can come and meet us. And we didn't send to our whole list of contacts. We just segment our list and send it to Australian users. So it's time to send it. When should you send your newsletter? It takes time to create a newsletter. It takes time to test a newsletter. So don't plan it like I write in the morning, I just deliver it this afternoon. It's not going to work. And when it's sent, it's sent. So you have to make sure that it doesn't contain mistakes and everything. So don't hesitate to ask a friend to check it. But when exactly should you send it? You should avoid weekends, especially if you are in the business. You should avoid Monday and Friday, just because on Monday you come for the weekend and you have thousands of emails and you just want to go as fast as possible. So the point is to make sure that people receive your newsletter when they are in front of the computer. So the best is, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday morning is the best time to send a newsletter. No, she's not one of our employees, unfortunately. My host does not allow me to send more than 400 emails per hour, but I have the debate of 2,000 contacts. What should I do? And this is actually quite a common question because most share hosts, especially, have limitation on the send process. And it's actually good because when you are on a share host, you share your reputation with several websites. So they just want you to avoid breaking everything. So there are actually 3 ways to fix that. The first one is to sprint your send process. So instead of sending right away, you will configure AcyMailing or whatever email solution you have to send it like 100 every hour, and it's going to take 5 hours to send you the letter, which is okay. The second answer is actually to upgrade your host plan. Obviously, if you have a dedicated server, you can do whatever you want. And the third answer is to use an external delivery service. And it's something people don't really know, that you can really have an integrated Joomla solution and just plug it to smtp.com, Elastic Email. There are plenty of delivery services out there, so you don't use your own host to deliver emails. Okay, let's analyze a bit your statistic now. And yeah, I know there is not only guys here, so I wanted to compensate a little bit. I have a 35% open rate. How come 65% of my users don't receive my newsletter? And this is actually a false question because statistics are not 100% accurate. And when you send newsletter and you have 35% open rate, it's actually a good one. I will share a bit of tricks here. We do the same. All email marketing solutions do the same. We include a small picture inside the message. And when you open the message on your mailbox and you accept to display picture, we get a picture loaded and we know that you open it. So if the user opens the newsletter, read it, without clicking on the button, yes, I want to display picture, we won't have feedback about this user and he won't be in the statistics. Which means a common mistake, do not send again a newsletter when the user didn't open it. It doesn't mean he didn't receive it. This is just a friend who wanted to help. I have a 10% open rate. How can I prove it? And that's a real question. So it can be because people received your newsletter but didn't open it, or it can be because they just didn't receive it. And if people receive your newsletter and didn't open it, you have to make sure that you try to engage people to open it. And for that, you have 3 ways. First one is working on the subject. For example, adding the first name of the user, or adding a joke, or something to catch the attention of the user so you can click on your email. The second one is actually the sender information. And it's something most of people forget to specify, or they don't pay attention to that. When you receive a message, you see the subject, but you see also from who it has been sent. And when I send a message to you, I don't say just Adrien. I say Adrien from AcyMailing or something like that. And more and more mobile device or Gmail displays the first few words of your newsletter. So it's actually important to make sure it's not just click here to view this newsletter online, something like that, but something relevant. How can I improve my deliverability? So if the user didn't receive it, what can I do? And there are plenty of stuff, technical stuff here, and Gmail has its own tricks, and Outlook in-house tricks, and so I won't go into that. But actually, all my knowledge I had during 5-6 years about dealing with spam issues, we put it inside a service which is called mail-tester.com, mail dash. Anyway. And it's actually a free service that you can use. And if you have only one thing to remember about my presentation, just test your email against with mail-tester.com before sending it. And you will have plenty of results like what's good, what's not good, and how you can improve it. And so if you follow all our advice, you will be able to reach the perfect score, 10-10. Thank you very much for your attention, and go ahead.
Thank you very much, Adrien. Do we have questions? Harvey? And any more?
Okay, you mentioned something about the mobile versus desktop. What's the open rate on a mobile device versus desktop? That there is more engagement on mobile users for email? From a newsletter perspective,
yes.
What percentage of your recipients open the newsletter on a mobile device versus a desktop?
Okay, it depends on the business, of course. But more and more, also users just check their email from mobile and keep the important one for the desktop version. So in the morning, you just check it and archive things quickly, and then you really read it on the desktop client. So I would say it's like about 60% directly open on mobile, but then the user may open it again on the desktop.
Very quick view on the mobile.
Yeah, exactly, yes. One of the things that I've read lately is that if you've got an image, if you've got an image in your email, you'll actually get a much better read rate. And if you reduce your text content down so it's only between, I think it was 75 and 150 words, and then you've got click here to read more, that's actually a good tactic. Is that becoming more the reality?
Yeah, exactly. When you write your newsletter, actually, the things you should focus on is a click to action. When you send a newsletter, you ask somebody to do something about it. It's not just a big text and with plenty of links. The user should be able to open your newsletter and quickly see what you want him to do. And so the technique of just adding a small text and click here, a big button, click here to read more, is actually very efficient.
You mentioned sending a picture with the email and then you get the stat somehow, so that you can see how many senders, how many people have received it or opened it. What's that? How does that work?
This is just the way we do technically. This is just the way we do. We include a picture, a small picture inside the newsletter, and the path of this picture contains the ID of the user and other information. So when the picture is loaded from your website, the email software can know who opened it, etc.
Right, thank you.
Right, thank you very much, guys. Now, we've got a lunch break coming up. One last round of applause for our guests in front.